hit the record button.
Excellent.
Cadium, how's it going, man? How's life?
It's going good. It's going good. We got into second round of provisionals. We're looking at a bunch of different decks and trying to see exactly what we want to do. Right now, I'm like getting high on Sharpie fumes, making proxies for stuff that's already sleeved up. But I don't want to talk about any of that stuff because you have specific beef with a specific seven hand size order character that
Uh-huh.
I happen to not hate as vehemently. And so I wanted to enlist your help.
Okay.
And I posted the link to it in the Patreon, but I can post it in the I can send it to you here as well if you don't have it handy.
It is already on screen, and I actually have it pulled up on Discord. You should be able to see it as well if you want
Swag.
to look along.
Let's do it.
Yeah, hey, between me and you, we're gonna pretend like nobody's watching. I kind of enjoyed playing this guy. um, you would
Right?
never catch me on camera saying that. There's no shot. But he was kind of enjoyable. I don't think he's very
Yeah.
good, but he was certainly better than that ugly, terrible Froppy 2. That's for sure.
Six hand size Osui. Yeah, that was a struggle bus.
Oh. So hit me with the elevator pitch. What's up with Ida?
Okay. So we've got our seven hand size order character, and this is a character that actually gets to speed boost discriminate shock, which is probably becoming my favorite attack in the game. It's good in one copy, it's good in four copies. The more you draw, the more you win. It just like I know there's no such thing as if I draw four copies of this card, I just win the game, like almost on the spot all the
Yeah.
time. And Ida gets to make it, 5 to 7 speed. So, I mean, that card's amazing. Recipro Burst, obviously, pretty damn good at what it does in terms of finishing games. So you've got like two big bomb options, and then like he does pokes really well
Yeah.
because he could just, if he's not like beholden to if he only wants to throw like one or two attacks, I mean, I can ditch a setup strike to get my flying thruster kick up to 8 speed, or I can recipro extend first and then do that. And so, like, you got speed on speed on speed here, and we're trying to get the most bang for our buck. Now, the problem that I'm running into, I think, with the deck, first off, it's Eda 2, so we can get that out of the way real quick. But secondly, it's huge.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it is a big one.
big deck's
69
not.
cards. What are you, Tamarin Cardwell? Those are some
Oh,
crazy
well,
numbers.
yeah, I know, dude. They're nice numbers, but at the same time, I think I want to get closer to my favorite card, right? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to get my indiscriminate shocks in my hand. Like, I want to get those Recipro Burst. Electric Jolt, also just my favorite poke in the entire game. Like, it doesn't even need to be a kick. It just always, it's a control piece for later. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. So I
is.
really think I want to try to shave it down some, and then
Okay.
if there are any things that I'm missing, obviously, I am here to learn and to sort of get through that with you. So
Yeah, I am down. I'm taking a quick little peek and seeing what else exists in the world of Eda, or in the world of Order, that we can mess around with.
yeah,
Um okay, so first and foremost, I just played this character for the charity stream, and I did not hate my life as I was playing. I mean, he obviously, the Eda 2 hate is real because the character's lines are hard to play. I think this character's hard. Which is like he's a seven hand size character that like is really good at making one move hit, but that's not normally what seven hand size characters do. Seven hand size characters are string characters because you got all these cards to play with.
yep,
And so I think that the enhance, I played on it. I literally played it one time in the entire match to give my thing +2 speed. I never worried about the -2 speed, or +2 damage. I never worried about
yeah,
the -2 damage, and I just let my seven hand size good universe's defense do that for me. And so you've got some cards in here, and I know whenever you played it against Ochako, you were very smitten to like discard an attack in order to give it my thing -2 damage. And frankly, I think that just sucks. I just don't even think it's like an ability on the card.
yeah.
To the point where like having The Foundation, which you're not even playing, thank goodness, is just
Oh,
like,
the Foundation is
yeah,
terrible.
this is
That
a
card
moot
is
point.
god awful.
Card
Yeah.
sucks. Um, I don't love Setup Strike because that card is trying to just buy in to the pipe dream of the enhance, right?
Right.
Like we just pipe dream enhance, we Setup Strike into Setup Strike, and then we giggle at our opponent as it's a 6-eye for this is a 6-eye for 7. You're like teehee teehee
Right.
teehee. And so like I think like instantly if we're like trying to trim the attacks down, I think it is just the first to go.
Love it.
I think the rest of this is all pretty good, right? Like when we take and we look at a 22 attack lineup deck, I think with our character that wants to string and is probably going to be discarding attacks in order to find more attacks, all of our attacks have like really solid blocks. I think this is totally fine.
Is two
Um,
the right number of high engine, or should one of the other ones sort of like take out one and then add another high engine? What did you feel about this card playing it?
so I loved high engine. I don't necessarily like a high thruster kick in anything that's not Eraserhead.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because I think giving it the speed bonus is kind of tough unless you find extend, and it does not feel amazing hitting the if flying thruster kick is the only move in our hand. It feels totally fine to play flying thruster kick and then give it the speed and then draw a bonus card. But
Yeah.
I would rather this card be the 5 diff that could potentially draw you 2 cards instead, because I think making that a 7 diff for 7 speed for 5 that could possibly draw you, it drew me 1 card because of Iida, it possibly draws me 2 more cards, and then press the button to end it is really good. Or even just making it a 7 mid for 5 with flash, right? I'll respond, I'll
Yeah.
replace this, or you're at 5, all right, it's a 9 mid for 5 catch. Oh, okay, well now that you've committed your entire stage, let me play my shock,
Let's
right?
just murder the shit out of you. Yeah, I love it. Let's
And
do
I
it.
think that's just like a way better value than like it maybe getting there. The one big issue is the fact that it's a low block, which we already have for indiscriminate, but we've got burst, we've got jolt to cover those, we've got solid mid block, and so I don't
Yeah,
actually
we
think
got plus ultra, so we'll be all right.
yeah, the block zone coverage is necessarily that important. Let me go and toss this in to the. Oh, I have to make this my main deck, or else I'm gonna mess up other people's decks. How do you feel about the not DLC, the plus ultra recipro acceleration kick? As I'm looking for this other attack, how do you feel about it
Uh,
as a card?
Recipro acceleration kick.
Remove kicks to get EX.
You've lost me.
It is the kick that Iida. I'll put it in the sideboard at a 1 of, and we can talk about it.
Oh, that's the plus
It's a
ultra piece. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, it's a 4 low for 6. It's this guy.
Oh, I like this
Discard
card.
a
What
random
is?
card.
I've seen it do well in Nomu, but that's because he gets to make it 11.
Yeah.
And like I feel like with this guy, you want to have the plus ultra in hand, or like I don't feel like I'm drawing enough to sustain like a crazy string where getting a like I don't see myself drawing 5 attacks with this character or 6 attacks with this character. Like so I don't know how much I need the clear. I also 8 of my attacks aren't kicks.
Right.
But
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's true.
The random discard is strong. But yeah, those 8 cards are like the best cards Order has, I think. So
I agree.
Yeah. I don't know.
The only reason I bring it up is this deck has some big issues with Nomu, and if we are smitten to play as Iida 2, Recipro Burst and Indiscriminate Shock will not get us there. We need to string, and this hits the magic number 6 and helps us string by keeping our card pool count low. So if you are planning on playing against Nomu, or you want to take this to a tournament, or anybody out there who you're determined to play as Iida 2, I would suggest maybe putting 1 or 2 of these in the sideboard, just because I don't think they belong on the main board, just because like I'm trying to string, right? Or sorry, I'm trying to Recipro, I'm trying to Indiscriminate to be my.
Is there another good Order character to side into with this build that considers Nomu as a like a good option for that character? A better matchup.
Let me look at the Order characters. Maybe Sero to punt a card out of his hand. You could do Moneta because he is pretty. I mean, he gets to block one thing per turn. We could do Iida because he gets to block one thing per turn. I just don't. Or we could just leverage our 6 hand size and play as Iida too, right? Like Order's in a weird spot character wise because everybody's kind of wanting to do their own thing, right? And this lineup, this package does not work for Dinky. It does not work for Midoriya. And then there's not really a difference on the Order symbol between the two Iidas, right? Like I actually think Iida 2 plays Reciprocal Burst better than Iida 1, hilariously, unless you tailor your deck under fire with Iida 2 to like, yo, this is what I do. I use Bakugo's 3-diff and capture evildoers, and I make the world's biggest Reciprocal Burst. But Iida 2 and soon to be Iida 3 just play this card better than Iida 1 does because of Iida 1 needs 2 momentum to make this card lethal, and Iida 2 doesn't. He just needs 1.
Yeah.
Give this thing +4 speed. After a Reciprocal Extend, it's what, +6 speed, which means it's +6 damage. It's +7 damage because of the stun 1 at bare minimum. Like that's whew, that is some spooky numbers.
I like it.
Yeah. Foundation wise, this card sucks.
What?
I think Short Circuit's really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
You play a lot of Ochako though. Like if I'm not playing against Ochako, if I'm playing against Ochako, obviously it's trash. But like, I don't know. I found use out of it. It's like a 2x bullet to reset something. I mean, a lot of good charges in the meta, but like there are cards that are not like Reciprocal Burst decks. Are those meta or are those just kind of too slow?
I think that like the cards that we want to bring this into are for cards like for decks like Nomu, for decks like All Might, that are for decks like Kirishima that are playing the punch package. But it's the wrong block zone to hit that double coverage, right? Like those punch decks are not playing lows, and so this card is only effective on the board, which means we are forced, we are hijacked, we are shanghaied to put this card on the board. Like we have to put it on the board for it to be useful because it's a 3 low. It sucks. And then like this card versus Jiro is or versus half the board it's only good on the board versus half the board it's only good. It's not useful against him at all. No Ochako, no Denki, no. This card doesn't stop things like double extends. It doesn't stop things like Jiro. Like there's like half the big crazy moves are all charges, and so then it's just dead. It's a dead main board card. I think if you like this card, it just needs to be in your sideboard at the 2 of.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I still bullet it myself, but I will let you. I want you to make your best version of this deck. So
I'm down. We'll put it in the side and we'll kill this one. Gotcha's stock just rose because we just put an additional committed foundation cost card attack in our deck. It works with Indiscriminate and Engine Rush now, so this card just gets crazy. Tapes 4 of we play plus Ultra. Self-sacrifice is great. Classmate introductions. I know Chris Bromley has a real issue with this card. I think this card is really cool inside of our deck because like we give our first thing hella speed and then we get to keep tacking it on. It also says that our first poke is really, I mean, it gets stronger, right? But if we're looking to cut cards, I think this is the lowest man on the totem pole, and so we'll probably, I'll put him in the sideboard just so we can see the card existing, but it's probably just gonna get cut in our main board. This is the only spam that we have. Fulfill My Duty, I think, is a very good card. I like Fulfilled. What's our blocks look like? We play a lot of lows, not as many highs. I'm going to take Heroic Leader from a 3 and put Fulfilled back up here. This card kills people, but this card stops us from being killed. And I think...
So does Heroic stops us from being killed too, because it gives speed reduction and we can pop Self-Sacrifice to boost damage for it.
True. We can pop Self-Sacrifice.
We use Self-Sacrifice to give their attack a damage.
Yeah. I think it's better to stop the combos rather than be forced to block a thing.
Okay.
And it also shores up our block zones a little bit, right? 16 highs, 21 lows.
Yeah.
We'll F5 and see how that changes, right? So now we're at 17, 18, and that just like that feels better across the board.
Oh, for sure.
Down to 62 cards. How much we cutting? We're still cutting?
Ooh, you got 22 attacks. 62-22 is probably pretty decent.
Yeah.
I don't think that unless we were going to take out like four more attacks, I probably wouldn't try to cut a whole lot more. I
Yeah.
actually feel pretty comfortable adding, and I think I want to put another shock treatment in. I don't know how I only put one of that card in there.
Card's
That
pretty
is
good.
like the only way to stop a turn two coordinated effort deck from like running over you.
Yeah.
So
That or jolt. Yeah. But
yeah,
you
yeah,
have to find the jolts.
yeah,
Yeah. I wish I had room for this in my main deck at a 2 of. Currently it's 1 and 1 of the sideboard, but I
yeah,
just value charged up in my deck because it kind of like helps me get my combos online.
yeah.
Probably should just
Actually, I'm not a big
cut.
fan of charge deck, so. That is interesting. It's one of my least favorite ones of the options, but I can see why it's good, especially because it gets you momentum. It
Correct.
costs me foundation. I like to use those past checks.
Yep. Yeah. No, I get it. I think I only get to like charged up because of my character. That's all.
Ah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
63. What happened?
I
Did
mean,
we
that's
we
that's 6 cards. That gets us closer to our base. We took out 2 attacks that were probably garbage anyways, and changed up some of the line. I think I can try to believe in this deck, Tam.
Yeah, I think
What do you think?
I think this deck I think this deck is going to be unbelievably fun at locals.
Yeah,
I think this deck is going to be one of the most fun decks at locals, and you'll fight two Nomus and cry. But like, I think you'll, I think like you're gonna find somebody who's playing like All Might 1, and you two are just gonna have an absolute blast, just demolishing each other, right? Very
that's gonna be good.
middle of the pack, fun kitchen table universes. I think this is where this deck's at.
Excellent.
Yeah. Is there anything
All
on here that you vehemently disagree with that you just like
I still
absolutely hated my
disagree with the
take?
short circuit play. I get how you never have problems with that card, but that card, man, I played Nina off of Chaos in the locals last week, and that card saved my ass more than anything I can possibly think of. Just like when you have to tap out and you have one card to leave up. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's that and it's fulfilled my duty, right? Like you gotta leave those 2 cards up and just commit out for one block so you
Right.
can force your opponent to overextend a little bit and turn around and kill them on the backswing. But like
Yeah,
yeah,
I totally agree with that. And inside of most of these symbols, I guess technically not the air symbol. I think under Chaos and Order, I definitely sideboard it. But I just think that it's a little too risky. It's a little risky to have a 2/5. That's so coin flippy. On I sit down across from Jiro and I just want to rip the card up. Like the best thing this card does is stop an amplified sound blast, and that
that is
like,
fair.
and even then it's
I
like
mean, you never block amplified sound
it's
blast, let's be honest.
right. So like it just like feels terrible on my board.
Yeah.
The best thing this card can do is be self-sacrificed, and
Oh yeah,
that is not a great turn game one mentality going in whenever we're playing as a character who needs all the help that he can get.
that is fair. That is
Yeah.
fair. I appreciate the engine rushes. I think that's going to be a really good addition. It's not a card that I've messed around with a whole lot, but I mean, like, even having more momentum outlets with powerful two. I mean, ideally, you're going to poke turn two and get like 1 or 2 momentum, and then you're going to, figure out something from there. So I mean, that's solid. I mean, it's got the extra draw possibility. Like, I think that's a really clutch choice.
Yeah, a line of like reciprocal extend into engine rush into indiscriminate shock. Like
Just
this is like a bunch of
dead.
damage. This is a threat, a good poke that they don't want to mess with. Puts them softens them up. This is something that you can just spend your whole momentum on, right? Your two
Yeah,
or three momentum and make it a like it starts at 7, goes up to like what 11, and then
yeah,
it's just like indiscriminate shock. Give it the +4 speed. You tapped out to block this thing that was big. Oh, sorry, man. Ooh,
yeah,
yuck.
yep, yep,
um,
yep.
Palindrome in the chat says playing on order, why no reverse throw? It's because we are valuing indiscriminate shock and electric jolt more. I think that Iida keeps these 4 attacks of extend, burst, high engine, and engine rush in the deck, and then these are your play slots. These are your tech choices slots. And you could, if you didn't like shock, right? If you didn't value that card, like Kadium does, we take it out for the throws, right? Because we
Yeah.
play the 2 order throws, and then we get to sit there and look at Ida 2's enhanced with a straight face. But in this build, we just don't get to.
That's true. That's true. But like, yeah, it gets to 7 damage and then it gets partial blocked, and it's like, all right, well, I got my momentum, but
Yep.
my other pokes, Electric Jolt always gets me momentum, and then I get to have a control piece for later.
Mm-hmm.
And then Reciprocal Extend always draws me a card, and if they want to block a 6 speed attack, I can follow it up with a 4 diff and probably hit them more. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jolt is if you're playing Jolt over reverse throw in your order decks, you are doing something incredibly wrong because this card is meta defining,
I
in
agree.
my opinion.
I agree. As long as the um menace that is coordinated effort exists, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Night Watch has never resolved against me. I've been playing like exclusively Order and Chaos recently.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that card never is live. You commit the sticky balls, you commit the fulfilled my duty. Like you have Ida's forced to just pop all of his fulfilled my duties on random bullshit. So because you're gonna commit it down the first chance you get. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Play this freaking card.
I agree. You are preaching to the choir, brother.
It's good.
Any last minute questions? Any last minute thoughts?
That is it, Tam. Thank you again so much. And again, congratulations on the $3,000 raised for No Kid Hungry. That is so freaking sweet. And my God, that was the ultimate slog. I was so glad I got to fall asleep like after playing a match and then wake up and play another match because you were still going.
It
It's
was
absolutely insane.
it was fun, and I am genuinely excited for the next one. And hey, thank you. I don't think I would have won with Ida 2 because I wouldn't have had a starting point if you didn't play me
Hey,
before. Yeah, my deck was definitely inspired by yours. So
excellent, excellent, man.
there
All
you go.
right. Well, good luck on your 100 requests for your deck doctors. It looks like you've given yourself another Iron Man
I
challenge.
certainly
And
did. Every character gets deck doctor. Let's get it. All
see you
right,
later, Dan.
peace, dude.